What's up, guys? Welcome back to today's episode of The Sports Sermon. We are brought to you by Scooch, the most functional phone case on the market. Check out ScoochCase.com to get yours today and use the code SPORTS18, sports with a Z, of course, to get a 10% discount on your order. Stay tuned till the end for a special Scooch giveaway as well. But now, today's episode.
And welcome inside to the Sports Sermon. I am Dylan Staggy here today with Jason Gandhi and Dan Majors. And as you can tell,
the Raiders!
As you can tell by that intro, we are talking about the Oakland Raiders.
Wait, who are we talking about, Dylan?
The
Raiders!
So, the Raiders made some big off-season moves, including hiring John Gruden to a 10-year, $100 million contract. They basically revamped their whole defense, and we'll talk about that a little later. Grabbed some new weapons on the offensive side, including Doug Martin and Jordy Nelson. Also, Martavis Bryant they acquired on draft night. But let's talk about that coaching move first. John Gruden, is he a good signing for the Raiders?
I love how we call it a signing. Like, this is the only coach to get traded, and now he's getting signed. Like, it's just funny because, like, he got traded. Now it's like he didn't get rehired. Like, I don't know. I just think it's funny how, like, it's like he's a player because he got traded. But I do like the John Gruden hire for the Raiders. I like it for our offense for sure. But if I have one concern, it's about him being stubborn to his 1998 ways. But I do think he'll be good for the franchise. Him and Carr have a fantastic relationship. Who wouldn't run through a brick wall for that guy? Like, you just have to love him when he starts talking. Like, everyone gets on board. He also brought over Paul Guenther from Cincy as our defensive coordinator, who I absolutely love. Like, I cannot emphasize. I'll probably say it 12 more times. Paul Guenther is going to be a huge pickup for this team. It is a good signing. It might not be Super Bowl or bust right now. It's going to be a process. But as of right now, I'm very optimistic on John Gruden. Dan, I don't feel like you feel the same way. You seem negative. You said it seemed negative. Like, do you actually like John Gruden? I was like,
no, I did not.
Really?
I was actually about to say this is. That was a
you
good,
like it?
Yeah, I like it.
See, I didn't think you liked it. Okay.
No, he's a coach you can really get behind, and I think you have to get behind to believe in him. He is also one of the only 8 active coaches with a Super Bowl victory. It'll be a great signing for the future, in my opinion.
I think the future is where the Raiders are going to regret this. I mean, right now, John Gruden's not a bad coach.
He's a great coach.
Yeah.
He's a Super Bowl winning coach.
Yes, he is a Super
Put
Bowl
some respect
winning
on his
coach.
nameplate.
But 10-year contract?
Dude, literally can get out of him anytime you want. Who cares? It's not in salary cap. I'm not paying the money. That's been my big thing with this. Like, I don't care how much money he's making. It doesn't affect the players. Like, it doesn't affect, he can't pay Khalil Mack as much now. Like, I don't care.
It doesn't.
$300 million.
It doesn't affect you, but when the owner doesn't want to fire him because he's making $10 million and he has to pay that,
he'll quit. He already said it. Said if he's not winning, he'll quit. Same thing as Magic Johnson. Us West Coast guys know what's up. If you're not successful, we'll quit ourselves. But then we'll sign LeBron and Manny Machado. Next year, we're getting who's the best free agent. Le'Veon Bell. Put my word on it right now. Le'Veon Bell to the Raiders. That'd be sick, actually. That'd be so cool. Michigan State. Okay, sorry. Go, Dylan.
There's not a lot of coaches that stay around for 10 years, and he really just hasn't been in the NFL for a while, and I don't think that's worth $100 million.
But I think that's a big misconception. He's been around teams. If anything, he's gotten more experience not coaching. He's gotten to every single team's practices. He's seen what they're doing. Like, he's getting in with these guys. He's staying in the game of football. I think that's something that people are like, oh, well, he's not coaching. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like, the dude's been in football. I think we all agree. When you listen to him on Monday night, you believe every word he's saying. That dude was so smart football-wise. And I think, what? You don't think he's a good football mind?
I mean, he was kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie.
I don't care if you think he's annoying. He's a hell of a football coach. Like, that's the thing. I think, like, yes, he's in the broadcast booth, but it wasn't like he was sitting on his couch twiddling his thumbs. Like, he was still in the game of football, still learning the game of football. So that's why I'm not as negative about it. But like I said, the one thing that if I had to say, this is what worries me, for me, it's that he's going to be like, oh, well, this worked in 1998, so we're going to do it again. But, like, the game has changed a lot. I think we all know that. Like, from now until then, we saw Colin Kaepernick from that time. We saw Tim Tebow. Like, we saw all these different guys come in, Michael Vick, all these different guys that weren't in the league. The league has changed from then to now, so I'm worried about that, but not enough to be like, oh, it's a bad hire. I think he's a great hire. And Dylan, like I said to you, the money for me is not a big deal. I don't care. And maybe that's like stupid of me. Like, oh, Jason,
Well,
you should care. But, like, it doesn't affect my salary cap.
Okay.
I'm not paying the money.
Yeah.
Who the hell cares?
Yeah, I get that.
Mark
but
Davis has to pay it.
What happens when he has 3 losing seasons in a row, 5 years down the
We
road,
move to Vegas. That's what happens.
and Mark Davis doesn't want to fire him?
Who cares? He's still John Gruden. I think. I don't think.
I mean, I don't think you're going to think the same about John Gruden if he has 3 losing seasons in a row.
Raider fans are not going to give up on John Gruden. He is a legend. The same way that Magic Johnson can do no wrong for the Lakers. It's the same thing with this. John Gruden can do no wrong in Raider fans' eyes right now. Right or wrong. I mean,
right now. What?
I mean, for me, I'm the same way. I am more skeptical than most Raider fans. Most Raider fans are like, oh, he's so great. Like, I think there is reason to be concerned. What I am saying, though, is I don't care if he has to get paid a lot of money. Like, I don't think Mark Davis is going to have any issue firing him. Like, I don't see that being
But,
an issue.
you
Mark
just said
Davis
he's a legend and he can do no wrong.
He is.
You don't think Mark Davis thinks the same about him?
But, I mean, you're saying from a financial side. I don't think it's a financial issue. Mark Davis is perfectly okay with money. It's not going to be an issue of finances, I don't think, for the Raiders.
$10 million out of his pocket. I mean, that's still a lot for anybody.
But it's not when you're going to Vegas in 2 years. Like, he's making so much money. Like, he'll definitely do it if it makes the team better. Like, you're telling me if you fire Gruden and you hire Dan Majors off the side of the street and he takes you to the playoffs, it's definitely worth it. You'll pay the $10 million halfway to that guy, while this guy's making me however much in revenue from the playoffs. Like, it's worth it, I think. Like, I don't think it's ever going to be we can't fire him because of his contract. That's personally what I think. I think buyouts are different. Like, when you see coaches in college, I think it is where it's like the big, like, you have to buy him out. That's different because if I'm Louisville, I don't want to go pay for NC State's $20 million to get him first.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay any, like, no other team's going to pay. Just cut it. You cut your losses and you move on. I don't know. I don't think finances are a big deal for John Gruden. Let's get back into football, though. Let's stop talking about money.
All right, let's move on to the defense. They basically completely overhauled it in the offseason. Did these moves make any improvement on the 23rd best defense a year ago?
I got to hear your guys' opinions first. I'll save mine. Let's hear what you guys think.
Okay. I think it stays about the same or maybe a little improvement. The only 2 signings I was a huge fan of were Tahir Whitehead and Rashawn Melvin. All the rest of the defensive signings come with some question marks. So I think it improves a little, but not enough to make a huge impact.
Dylan's a hater. Just be ready for this. I just look at his notes. He can be a hater the entire time.
I mean, I don't think it is going to move the needle, really, for the Raiders. I mean, Derek Johnson is extremely old. Tahir Whitehead, I think he's still a little bit slow. And I think I do like the Rashawn Melvin.
I wonder why.
Because he was great for the Colts a year ago.
Oh
However,
my gosh. Hater.
I mean, he was.
I mean, no, yeah, but like, of course, that's the one move you like is the one from the Colts.
I mean, he's probably the best defensive player that they signed.
I'd taken Derek Johnson. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Yeah, he might be older, but that dude's a freaking baller. Navarro Bowman was our leading tackler, and he's like 95.
Well, I guess in terms of value, I can see where Dylan's coming from.
I mean, yeah, he's a hell of a signing. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying, like, this is what I think, guys.
But, I mean, even he... Hold on. I mean, even he only had one good year. That was last year.
Derek Johnson or Rashawn Melvin?
Rashawn Melvin.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's the reason we're going to be great. I wasn't like, oh, Rashawn Melvin's going to get us back to a great defense.
Yeah.
Do you have more?
I mean, the last thing I wanted to say was I think Paul Gunther's a good hire, but, I mean, these guys are brand new to him.
They're not. We assigned Leon Hall, Reggie Nelson, guys that have been in the system.
Ooh.
I do think this. I think they signed Leon Hall and Reggie Nelson. They signed both of them until week 4 of the preseason when they got their system. I think they are honestly just there. Reggie Nelson more than Leon Hall. Or sorry, Leon Hall more than Reggie Nelson. I think Reggie Nelson can make the team. I think Leon Hall gets cut in the preseason once this defense is installed. I think he's there to help expedite the learning process of this team. That's all I think he's there for. I don't think he's good enough to be a cornerback for this team. We signed Darryl Worley. We signed Rashawn Melvin. We got Gary Conley. I don't think he's ever going to play for the Raiders. I think he's there for the preseason, expedite the learning curve. Reggie Nelson, for some reason, Reggie McKenzie and the Raiders front office love him. We got him last year. He was slow. We got him back this year. He's going to be even slower. Like,
see, but don't you think that about the entire defense?
But see, Dylan, this is my issue, bro. Everybody says that veterans, dude, the Raiders signed so many veterans. If the Patriots made these exact same moves, everyone would say, "Oh, great, Bill Belichick, put him with some veterans. They're a Super Bowl team." Like, it's because it's the Raiders, and because everyone is like, "Oh, is John Gruden going back to his old ways?" Why people are scared. That Derek Johnson, Rashawn Melvin, Darryl Worley, Marcus Gilchrist, Tahir Whitehead, those signings all make a lot of sense. They weren't crazy expensive, and if they don't work out, they're not locked up long term. All those but one are 1 year deals. So it makes a lot of sense. But see, this is what I think. We don't need to talk about the free agents. Free agents do not matter. We're getting 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick back on defense, new from last year, if everything goes right. Let me walk you through this. You're like, how the heck is that possible? They did not have 3 first-round picks. But they did, Dan Majors. Garyon Conley was hurt last year. He was a first-round pick. That's one, right?
Oh, but I thought hurt players aren't going to produce very well for next year.
What do you mean?
Mike Williams?
Okay, he screwed my fantasy team. That was a biased take. I apologize.
And this is a no-bias take because you're a fan of the Raiders?
I mean, this is just he had an injury. Like, he didn't screw my fantasy team. Let's go. Keep going. That's number 1. 2 and 3. What are their names, you ask? Maurice Hurst and Arden Key. They both had first-round grades by anybody you talk to. That's not debatable, but it was off-the-field issues. A heart condition, a off-the-field criminal issue. So far, no slip-ups. Arden Key might be my second or third favorite guy on this defense. He seems so committed to football. Bruce Irvin has got him locked in, and both guys are getting worked with the ones right now. Those 3 right now are first-round picks we're getting back. And don't even let me forget about Obi Melifonwu. That dude is a baller. He rose so high at the combine. Dan, you're asking who he is. I hear you. He's a second-round pick from last year from UConn. Remember the safety that was a freak athlete? Not Byron Jones, but last year, Obi Melifonwu. Look him up. He was hurt all of last season.
Right. I believe
Watch his name. John Gruden doesn't like him, though, which I actually don't like. But it's a different story. Marcus Gilchrist, we kind of talked about him already. I think he's a sleeper name. I think I like a lot with our safeties, with Carl Joseph and Reggie Nelson. Can I just say this, guys? Our pass rush might be top 5. Look at who you're going to have there. Bruce Irvin in his natural position, full-time. A guy by the name of Khalil Mack. The best pass rusher in the league, besides Aaron Donald. Don't get me started on Von Miller, Dylan. I'll kill you. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were.
I mean, he's better. But...
He's just actually not. Like, look at the stats. Who has the most tackles for loss the last 4 years, besides Aaron Donald? Thank you. Keep going. Bruce Irvin, Khalil Mack. That's just on the edge. You give me a guy like Mo Hurst in the middle. Oh, and then there's this guy named Arden Key on the edge again. You have so many pass rushers that you can just alternate. When Bruce Irvin gets tired, oh, we have this guy named Arden Key. Or we can play both.
I mean, there's some
Arden Key linebacker.
I wouldn't put it top 5 yet.
But Bruce Irvin and Khalil Mack are going to be so good.
Okay.
And you get Mo Hurst in there, and you get Arden Key. I'm saying they could be. Just the D-line. The whole defense not top 5. We kind of suck. The linebackers are terrible. Don't get me started. But just corners.
I think you've gotten started already.
I'm all the way in. I'm actually all the way in. Guys, I've waited so long to talk about the Raiders. I'm way too excited. I can't lie. Bruce Irvin and Khalil Mack on the edge rush is going to be so freaking fun. Bruce Irvin, I think, might be my guy that I never thought I would love, that I absolutely love this year. He's matured so much. He's like this veteran guy to Arden Key. I'm telling you, don't sleep on Bruce Irvin and Arden Key. They're going to be so good. And Khalil Mack isn't even in the building yet. This defense is going to improve. Paul Gunther and his new scheme is so good. I'll stop rambling if you guys get on board with the Raider defense.
Like, you mean...
We're on a Super Bowl.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Cancel the pod right now.
Let's get into the offense, guys. I'm ready for that, too. Let's keep going.
I mean, the Raiders brought in some new weapons for Derek Carr this offseason. Jordy Nelson, Martavis Bryant, Doug Martin. Are these guys going to have a bounce-back year?
I say yes. I mean, this is probably the most improved receiving corps in the league, along with Baltimore. Then I'm not sure how much Raider fans like the Colton Miller pick, but I like...
I thought you were saying I don't think Jason likes the pick. You were definitely just saying Jason didn't like the pick.
But I like the pick based on the fact that he was one of the best linemen in the draft. So I think this offense definitely improved.
I think, I mean, some of these guys, Nelson and Martin specifically, are still kind of old and slow. I mean, you saw that from Nelson last season. Martin struggled for the past few years. I do like Martavis Bryant, though. He should provide some exciting explosiveness for the Raiders alongside Cooper. And I think at times this offense is going to have to carry them, and they will at points. But, I mean, I just don't think
I got to ask you, Dylan, why do you not like veterans? Like, why do you have against these veterans? They're not like 50. Like, they're still, like, good players. You don't like Derek Johnson. You don't like Tahir Whitehead. You don't like Jordy Nelson. You don't like Doug Martin. Like, what's wrong with them?
I mean,
they're
slow.
good players.
Yeah, you used the word slow a lot.
But, like, yeah. Like, you all
I mean,
you said,
they are.
like, what do you mean? Like, explain to me. Why is Jordy Nelson bad?
I
Derek
didn't
Carr
say he
literally
was
just said that he's just as fast as any of the guys in the wide receiver room. Like, Jordy Nelson looks great. Doug Martin, he's going to have a heck of a season because he's a change of pace back to Marshawn. Tahir Whitehead, he was a baller on the Lions last year. He's not like 50. Like, he's still a good linebacker. And then Derek Johnson, yes, that's the one guy I would give you. Yeah, he's probably slower. But, like, you got to explain this to me. Why are you hating on Jordy Nelson, Doug Martin, and Tahir Whitehead? Let's hear it.
I mean, Jordy Nelson was not good last season when he didn't have Aaron Rodgers.
He didn't have a quarterback. You cannot tell me that this is not on Brett Hundley. And find me one guy on the Packers that did have a good season with Brett Hundley.
I mean, Devontae Adams was much better.
He wasn't good.
He's a lot better.
Okay, so he had one connection with Devontae Adams. But he wasn't like, he didn't play up to Jordy Nelson with Aaron Rodgers level. Like, he was fine. Tahir Whitehead's 28. How is that old and slow?
I mean, he's just not a fast guy.
What evidence are you, like, what are you going off of for that?
I mean, like, I've seen him play before.
But he's a top linebacker in this league. You're telling me, like, oh, he was really good last year.
I didn't say he was bad. I just said this team overall, it just doesn't have a lot of speed and youth.
But why? But like, why is that bad? Like, you just said, like, you don't
like speed and youth.
Not if I'm trying to win the Super Bowl. I'd like guys with some experience. I like experience when I'm trying to win the Super Bowl. And with a coach that hasn't coached since 1998. Yeah, I like guys that get it.
I mean, bringing in free agents, like, sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. I think these guys are a little older.
But why is that bad? Like, they're not 38. Like, old does not mean, like...
I think Derek Johnson is actually, like, 38.
He's 34, I think.
Yeah. That's
somewhere around that.
That's 4 more years. But, like, Doug Martin. What's wrong with Doug Martin?
He's not played well the past couple of years.
But you're saying he's old. Like, he's 29. He's under 30.
I mean, like, 30 is, like, the age for running backs.
Okay, so he's got a good year in him. But, like, I'm just saying, like, you keep blaming on old and slow. Like, what does that mean? Like, do you not like their games?
I mean, not really.
Like, why was Tahir Whitehead such a good linebacker last year?
I mean, you can be slow and still get tackles. I mean, I don't think he's bad. That's one of the better signings, I think, on the defense.
I don't know. You're a hater is all I'm learning. But let's go into the offense, I guess. We'll just get into it. I think Marshawn and Doug Martin are going to have a heck of a season. They're going to have legitimate change of pace backs for one another, so both will be more effective. Jordy is still Jordy Nelson. The people that say he's old and slow, yeah, they're just not being realistic. You have to watch him play. Martavis is fast.
I did watch Jordy Nelson.
He is so freaking fast. And I know it's just training camp, but every single report out of there is that these guys are looking so good, and Derek Carr is raving about him. My biggest concern with the offense is the offensive line and Amari Cooper. That's one guy, Dylan, I expected you to hate on that you didn't. I would have justified the hate.
Cooper.
Oh my God, if you watched a Raider game in your life. Dylan, this is your homework. I'm going to give you homework. Watch the Raiders-Titans week 1 from last year. Please. I want you to watch that game. You don't know what happens, or do you?
I'm assuming Amari Cooper does something bad.
No, see, that's the thing. I do like Amari Cooper. I'm saying, how do you love him, but then hate Jordy Nelson and Martavis Bryant? Like, Amari Cooper is the biggest question mark.
Is good.
Okay, then how do you hate Jordy Nelson? Like,
because
the biggest question mark on this offense of skill positions is Amari Cooper. Like, if he cannot figure out his drops, he is going to be the number 3 receiver on this team. Jordy Nelson and Martavis Bryant will pass him up. He has got to figure this out. The offensive line, Dan, you hit it. That's the issue I'm worried about. They're old. And Dylan, if you would have said they were old and slow, I would have agreed with you. Like, the points you're making are really good, just not with the right people. Like, this offensive line is very old, and I'm not sold on Colton Miller. Dan, you made that very clear. I don't love Colton Miller. Hopefully I'm wrong. But, like, the skill positions are what we have to bank on. Derek Carr, Marshawn Lynch, Doug Martin, Jordy Nelson, Amari Cooper, Martavis Bryant. That's the second best in the AFC West for sure. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the things that you touched on were the positives, and the things like you said you liked were like the things like I feel like are the biggest question marks. Like, you really like Amari Cooper, and you don't like Jordy Nelson, you don't like the Tahir Whitehead signing. I don't know. Those things just really, like, I don't understand.
All right. I mean, that's my opinion, but, like...
But, like, what do you like about Amari Cooper? I gotta ask.
Like, I mean, he's fast, he's explosive. He had a great couple years. I mean, last year wasn't great, but before that, he was fantastic.
So you believe he'll get back?
Yeah, I think he'll bounce back.
All right.
I'm learning that you value speed more than anything else. That's what I'm learning. I'm not meaning this meanly. I'm not meaning this like sarcastically. I am being genuine. You value speed on a football team. Like that's the number one thing.
I mean, do you not like speed?
It's not my number one thing. I like skill. Usually, skill is better than speed. I mean, like if it's your team, you do it, bro. I'm just saying, like everything you said is either slow or they're fast.
Is your favorite team the Oregon Ducks?
Yeah. Did you love Oregon when they had Chip Kelly?
I mean, yeah, they were.
Yeah, that's funny.
So yeah, you're just a speed demon. That's what I'm hearing. You have a need for speed, Dylan.
There you go.
That's it. We found Dylan's calling. Need for speed.
I mean, he is a pretty fast guy himself.
He is. He's a speed demon.
Obviously. So let's move on, though. I want to hear you guys' record prediction, place in the division, and whether the Raiders can make the playoffs.
So I have them 9-7. The Raiders' schedule is actually the third easiest in strength, and it eases up slightly after the Rams opener. That's a tough game, but the Oakland's in high demand. They're going to play at least 4 teams, at least 4 games on national television. So Dylan's going to have a great chance to be able to see Jordy Nelson show off his speed. All I want is for him to burn a quote-unquote fast cornerback for a touchdown. And I actually want you to look at that Amari Cooper game, actually. The Raiders-Titans. Watch it. But I think they'd go 9-7. Their schedule, it says it's easy, and it does get easier, but I still think there are a lot of tough games that are kind of coin flips. Like, hey, if they win this game, they could be a legit playoff team. If they lose this game, they could be a lottery or a top 10 pick team. So, for me, I put them at 9-7. I'm pretty optimistic. I already told you guys I love Maurice Hurst. I love Arden Key. I love Garyon Conley. And then with Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin, I think this defense is really loaded, at least in potential. Yeah, it all matters once they get on the field, obviously. But right now, I love in the potential. And so, I think they go 9-7. They're second in the division. And this division just isn't strong enough to be able to put 2 teams in the playoffs. If they did, they'd be the team. But their division's only going to get 1 team in, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they'll be in the playoff picture, though.
They'll be in that CBS graphic, in the hunt.
Yes.
I know Dylan loves that graphic. He told me that's where the Colts were going to be.
As
so
much
I told
as
him.
he likes his need for speed.
Yes, Dylan. You like speed and CBS sports graphics.
Obviously.
You should be the racing analyst for CBS.
Just going off on a tangent here, though.
Oh boy, here we go.
CBS, when they... Does
Are you
anybody
talking
else
bird
feel
chirp?
The bird chirp!
I know
I
you're
hate
talking
it!
about. Explain
They still
the bird,
have it.
Explain the bird chirp. Explain it to the
Okay.
listeners.
So, when they put a graphic up, and when they go away from it, you hear this, like, weird squeaky thing that sounds like a bird chirp. When I was sitting in my basement watching football, trying to take a nap, I kept on hearing it, thinking it was a bird, like, in my house. It was stupid, and I hate it. I'm keeping it this year because I was watching. My dad was watching golf the other day, and they had it on there. So I'm so upset.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually a fair thing. Trust me, if you think this is stupid, I also thought it was stupid. I was like, Dan, shut up. But then, you turn on CBS, it's actually a thing. Like, it is. It's a legit thing, and it'll bug the heck out of you for the first, 5-10 minutes to let you notice it. It's every time they switch from a graphic back to the live play, it's yeah.
All right.
Did you not notice it?
I have not, and I don't really want to because...
Watch the Raiders-Titans game. It was on CBS. It all comes back to
honestly, I don't really want to notice it because...
It'll ruin it.
Yeah, it does ruin it.
Yeah. But I have the Raiders going 7-9 this season. I think they're going to be in a close contest for the division. I think the Chiefs, Broncos, and the Raiders are all about the same. And even the Chargers, if they get a couple more injuries, which we know they struggle with that, could be in that same range. But right now I have them at 4th, and I don't think they make the playoffs this year.
You have them at 4th?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's close, though. I think the Broncos are 8-8. And
it's
then
definitely close.
I have the Chiefs at 7-9,
up what I've been saying. You're a hater of the Raiders, and I really hope you prove you wrong. I don't know. I think we value different things when it comes to a football team. I don't know. I don't hate veteran leadership, and it seems like you would rather have a bunch of youth guys than veterans, and that's why, I don't think you're crazy, though, because I think that's a lot of what the media is saying is how, they're too old. But, I don't know. I think people are going to have to wait and see, because I don't think because you have veterans means you're old necessarily.
Well, I mean, I'm just telling you from personal experience of the Colts when they tried to go out and sign a bunch of free agents to get around Andrew Luck and make a Super Bowl run, and after they won 11 games a couple years in a row.
The Eagles just did it last year, though. Getting Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, LeGarrette Blount, Jay Ajayi. Like, those are guys that are veterans that they went to go get and make a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, but I mean, those guys are still in their primes. I mean, guys like Jordan Nelson, who had a down season last year, Doug Martin, who's had a couple of bad seasons, Derek Johnson, who's definitely past his prime.
Definitely still good, but definitely past his prime.
I mean, he's fine, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all we've got for today. If you listen to the intro, you heard Jason about the Scooch contest. And if you want to be entered into a contest to win a free Scooch Wingman case, make sure you comment on this video or subscribe to our channel on YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter at The Sports Sermon.
Yeah, comment what you guys think about the Raiders. Do you like the veterans? Do you not like the veterans? Am I crazy? Is Dylan crazy? I actually want to know. Like, this isn't just a play for comments. I really do want to know. I'll get into it with you guys, with the fans. I'm really curious, so I want to hear that. Also, like Dylan said, get a Scooch case. I love it. I have it. Definitely go get that.
All right, that's all we've got for today. And make sure you check out our other NFL team previews, too.
Wait, Dylan, what was this podcast on?
The Raiders.
The Raiders.